the all-new Yamaha V6 Offshore F350. It's a featherweight knockout, the lightest 350 horsepower outboard on the water, exhilarating boating and incredible control in a powerfully light design. The Yamaha V6 Offshore F350.
In this video, we're going to be going over the South Shore Invitational Tournament, the All-Pro Duke of Fluke Tournament this weekend as well. We're going to have a tournament recap on the Bowie 35 event from last weekend. Jenny's going to have some intel with us for that striper summer candy that works great for the bass. And we're going to have reports as well as news on the tuna closing in.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today's June 20th, and we do have some big fishing news for you guys. Sea bass season, it's opening up this Sunday, the 23rd. Yes, that's the 23rd, this Sunday. And the regs are the following. It's 3 fish per person this first half of the season, 16.5-inch size limit. But then on August 31st, after that, the bag limit increases to 6 fish. Hit those South Shore wrecks right away. The fish will be right on them. Remember, it's 3 fish per person to start this season.
For nearly 90 years, the Viking fleet from Montauk has been putting anglers on the fish. Whether you jump on a half-day trip, fish the deep for an overnight adventure targeting big game, a day trip to Block, or a sunset cruise, their experienced captains and crew have you covered. VikingFleet.com.
We're going to give you a little recap of the last digital edition of the Fisherman magazine. Starting off, an article I wrote called Flats Patrol. It's all about fishing those shallow, skinny waters inside the bay. Then we have some bluefin tuna news. That's from Jim Hutchinson. That covers the offshore column. And bouncing clams from the surf. It's all about fishing clams from the surf. Check these columns out. We got another open boat special this week from Jenny Ackerman from the Fisherman, and it's all about fishing sand fleas, those little sand fleas from the beach for striped bass. What do you got for us, Jenny?
Summertime secrets, the secret bait. I know what you did last summer. You caught stripers in the surf using a secret bait, the sand flea. This is a tiny little booger version of the ones that you want to be using, but if you put a little circle hook on this with an egg sinker and throw it out there in the trough, you can get yourself some summertime stripers. Now, you can walk the beaches and find these little guys just digging in the sand in the wash, and you can get yourself a bounty of sand fleas to fish for stripers. And if you're near a jetty, blackfish, when they're in season, love sand fleas. So you can get yourself a sand flea rake, or just use your hands like I've been doing for the past 24 years. I used to collect them in a bucket when I was little. I should have sold them on the beach. I would have made bank. But get yourself some sand fleas if you want to target some stripers on your next beach day down the shore, and you'll get some. Good luck.
The Fisherman's Tim C. Smith checks in with a Dreamboat and Coastal Kayak Clash update.
And now the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge entries for the week. First, we have Robert DiPiero, Long Island subscriber, weighing in his sea robin of 2.2 pounds, placing him in 9th place in the sea robin category. Then in the weak fish category, we have Christopher Jones weighing in a 5.75 pounder. Kyle Kraus hit the scale with a 6.5 pound tide runner. And in the fluke category, we had New Jersey subscriber Aldo Payanessa with his 15.2 pound fluke. Wow, way to go, Aldo. And that has earned him first place in the fluke category. So the leaderboard for the week of June 19th looks like this. Anthony Savino is still at 19 points. Christopher Jones is coming in second now with 12 points with that weak fish entry. And Joseph Yam is tied with Christopher Jones at 12. Just a reminder, for your chance to win the grand prize Steigercraft powered by Yamaha and other great prizes, you need to be a Fisherman subscriber and use a 2024 entry form filled out completely, available at thefisherman.com/contests. Big changes taking place in the Coastal Kayak Clash this week. We had 4 nice fish hit the board. Coastal Kayak Clash regular Justin Oser upgraded his category leading porgy with a 17.5 incher. Todd Trianzi also logged in a nice porgy at 14.5 inches, landing him in third place for the category. Mike Radozowinski put up a solid 20-inch sea bass, landing him in the third place for the category. And the big kahuna this week was a 27-inch fluke for Bob Wagner, which shook things up at the top of the leaderboard. Now, Bob Wagner and Justin Oser are stuck in a virtual tie at the top with 9 points apiece. But because Bob Wagner has the bigger fish on the board with a 48.5-inch striper, he holds the top position. Mike Radozowinski is in third place, sitting well within striking distance with 6 points. For all the details and how to enter, visit thefisherman.com/contests.
Now let's check in with our upcoming events for this week and the rest of the month. We have through July 5th. Right now it's going on a Surf Rats Ball Bass Tournament. Then we have the South Shore Invitational Charity Fishing Tournament. That's going to be on the 22nd. Also on 22nd, the Saturday, is the Great Gun Mauritius Anglers Offshore and Inshore Fishing Tournament. And on June 23rd is the All-Pro Fishing Duke of Fluke Tournament and Fair. So a little bit more about the South Shore Invitational. That's Saturday, the 22nd. That's this Saturday. It's the 3rd annual South Shore Fishing Tournament and summer kickoff. The captain's meeting is going to be tonight at the Long Island Yacht Club. The tournament is going to feature tuna category, a fluke category, and a bluefish category. And it's going to be over $14,000 in prizes. I'm going to be the weighmaster at the event. The weather looks great for it on Saturday. There's some tuna around. Hopefully we see some tuna weigh-ins. That's real exciting. Should be a great day of fishing. Fluke fishing is picking up. There's been some bluefish in the ocean as well. Looking forward to seeing those catches, but I'm going to be there weighing those fish, and we'll have more on that next week, the tournament results, that is. The Sunday weather is looking a little bit spotty for that Duke of Fluke tournament, but let's check in with Vince to see if we have an update. Vince.
Hey, Matt. Pretty excited about this Sunday, the Duke of Fluke. I understand the weather can be a little iffy. We're going to make a final call this Friday at 12 p.m. Follow us on the Duke of Fluke Facebook page for updates, our website. But we're excited. We're ready to go.
All right, let's go around the map. I'll let you know what I'm hearing. Starting off in the Fire Island area near the lighthouse in 35 feet of water. Maximus Albanese, he said he released this 55-inch almost 60-pound bass. That's a huge fish. Congratulations, Maximus. I also heard those tuna are closing in. I got a lot of reports. I do the Eastern column for the Fisherman magazine. So over the weekend, I heard that the tuna are closing on the eastern part of Long Island. We're seeing bluefin tuna to up to 60 pounds. Some bigger ones in the mix as well, but there's a lot of 50, 60 pounds, those school class bluefins. They've been within 20 miles and a little bit closer. That means south of Block, south of Montauk Point, also south of the Hamptons as well. A lot of fish have been on the troll for the most part. Moving on, we have that Buoy 35 tournament recap. It's the Father's Day tournament for striped bass at Buoy 35. The tournament benefited autism. Now, for the tournament, I was in the tournament. I fished with CB, who's one of the owners of Buoy 35. He had a personal best striped bass. It was a huge fish. A lot of big fish caught during the tournament, which is a lot of fun for everybody. I think everybody caught fish. Some 30s, 40s, even 50-pounders were caught, all in the ocean, all on the snag, and they swapped them over to circle hooks. Some real impressive fish caught. There was some slot fish caught in Mauritius Inlet as well as Fire Island Inlet. Jason, he won the grand prize. He had a nice chunky slot fish. Overall, great event, great time. I suggest you guys check that one next year. Also, they do have an upcoming fall tournament as well. Moving on, Michael, he sent in this 11.7 pound, 31 3/4 inch fluke caught within the bay last Saturday for Father's Day. That was in Hampton Bays. He caught it on a brand new pole that he got. Pretty cool stuff. Way to test out that brand new pole. He also caught a 22.5 inch fluke a couple hours later on the same trip, but the highlight was that 11.7 pounder that he did weigh into East End bait and tackle. Also, we have Chris Cardell. He was chasing bunker schools outside of Shinnecock Inlet. Had this monster fish also. Ron, he fished on the king cod out of Capt for Father's Day. Ended up with a nice pair of keepers fishing inside the bay. Then we have Jerry Sakaya. He caught a nice keeper fluke just shy of 6 pounds. Exactly, it was 5.97 pounds. That was in Reynolds Channel last week using a green gulp, probably chartreuse, tipped with the spearing. They also had plenty of shorts to keep things interesting, is what he told me as well. And in Hempstead Bay, Nate, he had this nice, solid 25-inch fluke. He caught on a bucktail with the old, true and tested squid and spearing combo. Nice shot, Nate. Nice fluke. If you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I'll try and get into weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine. Meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen's weekend weather forecast is brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general heads up, general overview for the upcoming weekend, first weekend of summer across Long Island. So I had a nice treat last weekend for Father's Day with the family out. Sunday, a 7.3-pound fluke. I landed in the bay, 26 inches, officially weighted Bay Park Fishing Station. Thanks to the folks over there for giving me the official weight. This was in Reynolds, again, on the bucktails and the gulps. It's just been really a nice, spring and season so far here for these fluke. If you get out there on the right tides and get the right drift, the fluke are there. It's not a ton of them, but the ones you get are pretty big. Now, we also had a weak fish a couple days later. 21-inch weak fish in the same area around Reynolds Channel. This was also on a bucktail and a grub, and, just going for fluke. I had one of these jump on the hook, so that was kind of a nice treat to see. We were chasing some, scattered bluefish up and down the bay, 3 to 5 pound blues, and we saw some of these getting spit up. I think these are bay anchovies. If you know what they are, just chime in here on the comments section. A lot of these coming up, but it's good to see a lot of bait. There was plenty of it from the bridge to the trestle, all in the back bays. Good sign seeing some of this bait now coming into the back bays. So that should keep the fishing going strong. Water temps, 60s, 70s, starting to get that summer feel with some of the heat we've had lately. And the weather looks okay. Friday, southwest breeze, 5 to 15, gust to 20 late. It's going to be one of those deals if you want to fish Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when the best part is going to be the early morning, late morning, midday. By about 1, 2, 3 o'clock, you start to get that nasty sea breeze coming in from the southwest. So the afternoon, evening fishing is going to be a little tough in the ocean. Some of the bays will be chopped up. But if you can get out early, that'd be my best bet, best advice to you. Saturday, again, the winds look okay here, but that's early. Late in the day it starts to chop up. So it's fishable, party boats, surf in the bays should be okay. But try to do it early. Saturday, general 2 to 4, 4 to 8's way offshore, and it starts to crank up a little more Sunday afternoon with that persistent southwest breeze as the sea breeze really starts to kick. Saturday temps, 70s, 80s on Long Island. To the west, it's going to be in the 90s. So we're just escaping the real big heat across New Jersey. One of my go-to apps, the Wind Guru, spells it out nicely. Southwest breeze Friday, doesn't look bad. You notice after like 2, 3, 4 o'clock, the right side there, you start to see some colors. Same thing on Saturday, same thing on Sunday. So again, mornings are good. Afternoon and evenings, a little choppy, a little windier. Again, the best deal would be to get out early if you can. Friday, Saturday, again, southwest breeze, not bad. Maybe a shower Saturday. Sunday, again, maybe a little more riled up with more of a persistent southwest breeze coming off the ocean. So overall, though, it's not a bad first week of the summer. A lot of fish out there. Be safe as always. Catch them up. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Well, greetings, everybody from Montauk. As everybody knows, the full strawberry moon's about to hit. It's going to be some of the best bass fishing of the year. Historically, that's been the way it is out here in Montauk. We're seeing fish up to 40 pounds right now, catching them on flies, and I'm catching them on bucktails. The ebb tide is running a whole series of night striped bass trips for the full moon. So get on their website. If you're looking to catch big fish, they've been catching fish 40, 50 pounds, and they've been doing really well. They're offering some eel-only trips and some jigging trips, so check out their website. Bluefin tuna fishing's good. They're relatively close. Had a couple guys get some last week. Kenny Hadacek on the My Joyce. He scored a nice little bluefin last week on Father's Day, so that was a good hit. The fluke fishing is definitely starting to come up, and sea bass is going to open next week on the 23rd. So everybody, there's plenty to do. The weather's looking great for the weekend, and get out there and enjoy some of the great striped bass fishing. Thank you, Matt.
From Sag Harbor, we have Will and Andy.
Thanks, Matt. So report this week out of Sag Harbor. The striped bass fishing has still remained pretty strong. Fish are starting to move a little further east as the water gets warmer, but still really good fishing, guys, both on the top and also jigging on the bottom. Porgies has remained strong too. We're excited for sea bass as well, so that'll be great too. And then finally, the fluking has been a little bit tough, guys, but hopefully that's going to pick up soon as well. But really excited. Now it's finally here. The season's on, the summer's going, and it's time to get after it. So back to you, Matt.
Aloha, let's check in with Hawaiian Dan.
Thanks, Matt. Aloha, friends. I'm Hawaiian Dan of TalkFishTV.com reporting for the Fisherman magazine, this week on the central North Shore and South Shore of Long Island. On the North Shore, I've been zipping around with my Seagull Basscat 14 inflatable catamaran boat from Seagull.com, and I have to be pretty honest. Things have been pretty tough for me this season with the exception of striped bass opening day. There's lots of tiny rain bait in the 1/2-inch to 2-inch sizes and some bigger baits in the 3-inch sizes that finally started showing up, but that tiny bait makes it extremely hard to match the hatch and size and presentation while still trying to stand out. Your best bet is to go with a much bigger presentation and stand way out and cull through the little fish for the bigger ones. I was able to score some porgies and short summer fluke, and I'm hoping the bite will continue to pick up. I've yet to spot any bunker, and it's making me a bit nervous because the last 3 years the majority of the migrations seem to favor the Connecticut coastline instead of ours here on the North Shore of Long Island. And I truly hope that I'm wrong, but only time will tell. On the Central South Shore, they're still having an epic season. I'd say the best I've seen in over 14 years. Lots of really big striper being caught, and it's still all about finding the bunker, and this week there's even more showing up. Find the bunker, find the bass, but remember, not all the bunker pods are holding fish, so pay close attention to how the bunker pods are behaving. If they look like they're being hunted, it's because they are. If they're lazy and they're not on high alert, I'd still give it a try, and if you don't hook up in, let's say, maybe 15 minutes, just keep moving from pod to pod until you find the bass. Remember, with so much bait around, you want to make yours stand out, and one way to do that is to high toss your bunker into the middle of the pod and let it sink. It'll scatter the nearby bunker, leaving yours plain in view for easy picking. Now get out those couches, grab some friends, and let's get out there and fish. Remember to make someone smile today and every day if you can. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Hawaiian Dan or TalkFishTV.com, and I'll do my best to help. Don't forget about the Duke of Fluke tournament on June 23rd. It's coming up. For more information, visit allpronational.com. Until next week, stay safe out there. Continue to look out for one another and keep spreading that aloha. Now back to you, Matt.
From Northport, we have the Cal Harbor Bait and Tackle Report.
Wow, what an inspirational past weekend we had. We hit up Operation Real Heroes on Saturday, followed by Father's Day on Sunday, and amazing, so many memories, wonderful pictures, talking about the good old days, the days to come, the days that we're creating now, and it's just absolutely awesome. It's all the greatest things you can think about when it comes to fishing. And you know what? We even have more to look forward to this week. We're coming on a full moon. We're looking at opening of sea bass on the 23rd. If you're a business, don't forget to pay your sales tax on the 20th, and then go fishing. It's just so much fun out there. The fluking is great. We've got sand eels to be done. The porgies have now moved out of some of the areas. They're spreading into the bays. They're coming into the docks. So there's great opportunities to take out your kids and everything like that. Just hang out, chill a little bit, and enjoy your life. And the striped bass. Striped bass is fantastic. It's almost getting to be old great news, right? No, I mean, who doesn't love to hear this? Right now, North Shore has such a strong striped bass fishery. It's just unbelievable to see so many slotfish, below slotfish, smaller fish, and really large fish. And it's a big variety we have right now. And the bite's on hard. You could be trolling, jigging, throwing top water plugs. There's a huge chunk bite going on right now. It's absolutely fantastic. Kayakers pulling your worms and tubing worming it. There's just so many great opportunities. As I mentioned, the fluke, it's just the fluke have been moving in a little shallow on these sand eels, but now we're looking at some hot temperatures. So with these hot temperatures, quite often that you'll see the day by these fish will shift into deeper waters. And coming off that storm that we just had this week, as everything settles down, the fish definitely went from 38 down to as far as 100, 120 feet deep, and they're just kind of, I think, they're setting themselves back up. We can see these currents pick up again on the full moon. Look for a cinder worm hatch, so much spearing in the back of the bay, out in the front as well. So a lot of small size baits and larger size bait profiles are starting to come in. So there's quite a bit out there for the predator fish, and there's great opportunities to go out there, create your memories, have a lot of fun, enjoy life. decompress a little bit. That's what fishing's all about. I want to see more positive posts out there with everybody and keep those smiles alive. Enough of the good talk. Until next week, I bid you all peace and tight lines.
From Huntington, we have Captain Gaige.
Thanks, Matt. What's up, everybody? Captain Gaige here reporting to you from Huntington Harbor, where I fish 7 days a week for SandCityCharter.com. Check it out. So fishing in my area has been lights out. For the past couple of weeks, we've been on the bass. We've been on the fish every single trip. It's been a really good time. So today we got out at 5:30 in the morning. We headed out first light, and you're going to see a recognizable face on the boat again. Steve came back. He was in last week's video. You saw him, Charlie, and Ken reeling in the bass. Well, he had such a good time, he had to bring out Jack, John, and John today, his neighbors, for an epic fishing trip. And when I tell you epic, it was absolutely insane. I'm going to let them tell you about it. This way you don't have to worry about believing me. And we'll hear about the size of the fish they caught. We'll show you in the video and what they landed. But let's shoot to the star today here. So how was that fish you caught? Tell us about it.
Gotta tell you, that was just the biggest goddamn bass I've ever seen. I mean, it was 47 pounds, 47.3, 48 inches. I mean, the thing fought like a monster, pulled out an extra foot, like 100 feet of line off the bat, and I knew it was gonna be a battle. Suffered from some back spasms and a chest lockup, but unreal fishing, and thanks again.
Amazing day. Steve, my two boys, incredible day. Thanks for having us. Great day of fishing, amazing. And we thought he was reeling in a scuba diver. That's how big that damn fish looked when it pulled up to the boat. Unbelievable, shocking. We'll have some video for you later.
They said it all. You know, one of the best fishing experiences of my life. Getting to watch my brother reel in that 47-pound bass is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Just another great day fishing with Captain Gaige. It was just
Captain
awesome.
Gaige.
Really awesome.
Number one.
Thank you, pal.
Hit the spot every time. Every time. Call the shots.
Yeah.
Like Babe Ruth.
Well, there you have it, guys. Wrapping up another report here from Sand City Charters. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water.
With the fly and freshwater report and maybe some saltwater reports as well, Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, I tell you, I hope everybody had a great Father's Day weekend. I know I did. I was out camping out in Indian Island with my lovely wife. We had a good time. Not a lot of fishing, but it was really nice to be out here. It's always nice to get out, and the weather was perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. Now, as far as the fishing goes, well, the Connecticut is, of course, all the spring creeks are fishing well. But you got to put in the time, and you really want to do it, you know, towards the morning of, you could, or late in the evening. Like the Carmen's really is fishing very well at the end of the day. But you got to be there. Make sure you get that $4 pass. All right, do the right thing. As far as the upstate, they got a little rain, but it's good. The flows are good for this time of year. And the fishing has been good. I mean, not phenomenal, but good. The Delaware is also doing well. The Croton is doing well. Sulfurs are starting to pop off. So if you have time, get out. The ponds are extremely doing well. The bluegills are still on their beds, so they're very aggressive. The bass are out. The carp are done spawning, so you could target the carp. I know Kenny the Hat he's out there fishing for carp, and he has some and he loses some. You know, that's the way it is with carp fishing. But it's been a lot of fun. Stripers, bluefish, still around. I heard a few weak fish, but not a lot of weak fish, but a few. But you got to be there when they're there, so got to get out there while you can. Just check the tides, check the wind, and get out there. The downside is now you start having a lot of guys out there with jet skis. And I was at Field 10. They're not supposed to be landing their craft. They are. They're not supposed to be picketing. They are. And I don't get it, but they're blasting the music. And they just killed the fishing. So if you're going to fish those areas, it's a night game. So get out there when you can. Tie lines to next week.
From the Western Sound, we have Nuno Decosta from Tyalure Tackle up in Rye.
Thanks, guys. Nuno here from Tyalure. Where do we start? Offshore fishing.
off to an incredible start. June has been red hot. It started in May. Many inshore areas off of Block and Montauk, the Ranger producing bluefin. Offshore, yellowfin and big eye have started to show up. Southern canyons, the eastern canyons, things are shaping up for a great season. Great stretch of weather allows these fish to build up, the bait to stack up, and it can be an incredible season. Just have to keep an eye for everything. Hopefully no major storms come this late spring or summer. And we will continue on this trajectory, and hopefully they'll push inshore and we'll get that great yellowfin bite inshore. We'll see with things to come. Inshore here, striped bass fishing remains king. Lots more bluefish have moved in. Guys that are fishing a live bait or finding the live bait tend to do a little better this time of year. Every day is different. Some days popper action has been incredible as the fish have gotten pushed up. You really have to be willing to adapt out there and ready to go, whether it's the jigs, the poppers, the bait. Really read the conditions and see what's going on, and then challenge yourself to make it happen. Porgy fishing, a little uptick this week on the mainland. Some fish here locally at Playland have been caught, some porgies in better numbers than pretty much nothing was seen before. So we're starting to see some good catches on the mainland of some porgy fishing. Nothing crazy yet, but better than nothing. Fluke fishing remains good to the east. Pick around here, nothing crazy. And we'll see what continues. The weather looks good. It's supposed to be hot, but you know what? Fishing remains excellent. Go out there, guys. Make it happen.
Rob Greco from the LA Outdoorsman. He checks in from Rockville Center.
Hello, Fisherman readers. This is Robert Greco from Long Island Outdoorsman giving you this week's fishing report. Starting with the Back Bay fluke fishing, it's still very good. Lots of keepers around, although the keeper ratio does seem to be dropping a little bit. However, that is kind of offset by the fact that there's still a lot of fish around. You're getting a lot of decent shorts, 17, 18-inch fish, which make for a good fight. Me personally, I had fish up to about 20 inches this week. Me and my buddy Andrew Vinci were out yesterday. We had 3 keepers up to 20 inches, all in the back bays on spro bucktails with gulp, using the gulp mullets and gulp shrimp. And we've been getting pretty much keepers on every trip. It's been really good, although I am hearing that there's been some keeper fluke out by the Atlantic Beach Reef, which means the fish are starting to move out a little bit. So now's a good time to start targeting either the reef or maybe the mouth of the inlets. And as far as the tuna report, John McMurray from One More Cast Charters reported, I believe, up to a 65-pound tuna that he caught on a Mad Mantis plug with his charter. Hearing reports of lots of whales, dolphins, and sand eels. So now is a really good time to get out there, get offshore, and start targeting some tuna. I'm pretty confident that this bite should last quite a while, just like it did last year, all through July and August. So great time to get out there and start doing some tuna fishing. Thank you, and back to you guys.
Don't forget this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Podcasts. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast along with our other content. We got a few events coming up this weekend. Saturday weather looks better than Sunday, so be sure to definitely get out Saturday to take advantage. Good luck sea bass fishing this season. Get them while it's hot, while they're on those reefs. Those big fish are on those reefs right now. We'll give you those tournament updates next week, along with the rest of the content and reports from around the island. We'll see you then.